You know, Will, I like talking comics with you. We don't do enough new comic book day talk. So Wednesday night we're talking new comics. And did you stop by your LCS today, or are you no longer a Wednesday warrior?
Wait, it's not Friday? What?
I know
I gotta
it's
work
a little
4
weird.
days.
You don't have to.
I kind of do. I like getting paid. Okay.
Okay, you got it. Then I think you gotta. I
gotta.
So no, it is not Friday night. Our good friend Travis Gibb has a huge anthology, the third in a line of Cthulhu Invades ... And we wanted to make sure we had a chance to talk it. And Will and I, we don't like having anthologies on the roundtable because then either the other projects get shortchanged or the creators in the anthology get shortchanged. We don't want to do that to anybody. We want to have time to really talk about an anthology. So Travis, this is part 3 of Cthulhu Invades. Where's that tentacled beast going now?
That big giant monster is going to Neverland. He's off to Neverland, as Metallica would say. We are in Neverland, but to go, it's super expensive. I was at $75. It was out of control. So I don't know what's going on. I'm getting circles.
Okay, I was wondering if it was me or you. So
yeah.
Hey, welcome back, and Cthulhu Invades. Why don't we just, we'll edit that out for the podcast because Will and I spend a lot of time editing. Nothing ever gets through that we don't want to hear. Cthulhu Invades Neverland. Hush Little Baby, Don't Say a Word. I got the reference. I got that much.
Okay.
Go for it.
So, but you didn't get my jokes about the comic shop. The comic shop this week is expensive. Don't go. I was at $75 and I get a 40% discount.
Yikes.
Wow.
God bless you for keeping the ecosystem strong.
It was rough. So don't go.
No, don't do that. But one thing you can do, and I bet there's a $75 tier somewhere near for Cthulhu Invades Neverland. If we've got 2 contributors so far. We may have a third to the anthology. So Phil, you just went away. So Pete, you are going to. What is your? What's your? Boy, this one is going to be fun. I can tell.
Be fun yeah.
This is why we don't do them on Wednesday nights. I've learned.
Yeah.
Right.
No, Pete. So what is your trinket of the anthology this time?
Sure. So I did a story for Billy Jukes. He's the tattooed pirate from Neverland. So when reading Wendy and Peter, basically the idea is that they had all these pirates and they described 3 of them. They described Hook, they described Smee, and described Billy Jukes. And he's just simply described as having tattoos from head to toe. He's the tattooed pirate. He says, "Aye, aye, Captain," and then "Aye, aye," and then he shuffles off screen where he gets killed by Peter Pan. So just kind of fitting in with everything else, I decided that maybe I'll make him immortal, right? So he's immortal, and you think about a lot of people that get tattoos. They get tattoos that have some sort of meaning to them. So in the case of Billy, he gets his tattoos based upon whatever happened to kill him the last time.
Okay.
So every time he comes back, he gets a new tattoo along with that, and that way other creators could even use him, even kill him off in their stories if they want to.
You're just going to get a new tattoo when he comes back?
Yeah, just have a new tattoo when he comes back.
Okay, so I'm going to give there's no spoiler warning here. Pete, in the private chat, you told us you were begged to go kill a bug. We want the entire tale of the adventure. Were you successful?
Indeed, yeah. This was I was Phil. I was Phil.
Oh, I said Pete, didn't I?
Yeah, that's okay. I was like, I'm so confused. I'm like, generally I don't. I catch them and I release them. Yeah.
What would be really great is if Phil's sitting there going, "Man, he had to kill a bug too."
Sorry for leaving. Wife asked me to pick. I said no at first, and she just stared me down. So
that is. I think what
and then
line of most important husband duties, killing bugs.
And then I have rage. You turn off the light. So luckily, I have the light behind me. So I'm hoping I do not have to sleep out here tonight.
You know what? You did the best you could, and Travis is gone. Oh my God, guys! This
First
you know what?
bugs,
This is a 10 Little
Travis.
Indians a podcast. This is a 10 Little Indians a podcast, or hopefully, there can only be one by the end.
We have to pray that no one comes out of Pete's door and takes him. That's how this podcast ends. Someone
arm comes in
and takes them.
So, all right. So we're going to try to get this runaway train on the tracks. Phil, so what is your segment of Cthulhu Invades Neverland, and where did you what got into it? Just the real quick pitch, because we're going to get into it deeper.
Title is All Lost Boys Go to Heaven, art by Jack Van Thom. Pretty much it's an angst teenage Peter Pan who's angry and feels like the Lost Boys and Wendy have betrayed him. So there's a heel turn for Peter with my story, which I'm really excited for people to see.
That's fun. So Travis, took off, which is par for the course this evening. Had either of you or both of you been involved in the earlier Cthulhu Invades Wonderland and Oz?
Peter, you go first.
Yeah, I've been involved since the beginning, actually. Yeah, so I was a proofreader on Oz, and my daughter Emily is who did the first 8 pages of Oz, the artwork on it when she was 14 when she did that.
Oh wow!
Back.
Oh cool.
Yeah, so she did all the line art for the story that Travis wrote for the first one. And when the time came around for the second one, he said he was starting to accept story submissions. So I do have a story in Wonderland and did double duty and kind of continued proofing as well with that one. And again, Emily at 16, my daughter, she did the Dormouse story in Wonderland, in fact. And so both of us, of course, are now also back for Neverland. I'm pulling double duty again, and she's doing, she's done art for somebody else. I pulled Deborah, and I can't remember how to pronounce her last name. She's Italian, but she's to do my artwork. My daughter Emily actually did my coloring for me. But Deb, I've worked with before on Quicksand from Scout Comics.
That's the Jonathan Hedrick, right?
Right, yeah, and I'm Jonathan's editor for that comic. So,
sweet.
I've worked with her before, so I kind of hooked up with her to get the artwork done for this one as well.
No, that's great. And Phil, I know you were part of one of the earlier ones. Were you part of both?
I was part of Cthulhu Invades Wonderland. I did Humpty Dumpty, and it was a story about Humpty Dumpty being a mad scientist and a father, and trying to help the Egg Army to defeat Cthulhu.
So I'm going to ask you guys. Travis is back, but I had the question while he was gone. When you're doing these crossovers, were you really versed in Cthulhu, or what did you have to do the research on, and what did you kind of have feet firmly in? Pete, I guess we'll go with you first.
I would say more research on the Cthulhu side for me. Not as big of a Lovecraft fan growing up as I was some of these other properties. For Oz, was never really into Oz that much, but again, I didn't really write anything for that one, so I kind of really helped with the proofing on that. For Wonderland, I was a huge Lewis Carroll fan as a kid, probably somewhere on the bottom of this bookcase. There's still the complete work somewhere. I didn't really need to do any research at all for him. For Neverland, I did pull Peter and Wendy, both the play and the original story, and kind of reread them to refamiliarize myself with, speech and mannerisms and things like that were in there, just to try to make sure that I pulled something together that kind of fit.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Phil?
For me, you know what? Familiar with both Cthulhu and Peter Pan. Peter Pan, especially, that my first Peter Pan is Julie Andrews from black and white. I want to say like the 1960s. That was my first Peter Pan. And for both stories, I just decided to do something different. Humpty Dumpty story, I don't really actually remember the title, sadly, but for that one, I actually gave Cthulhu cousins, and Humpty Dumpty beat him up. And then for this one, I just wanted to make Peter Pan just really angry, and go full Anakin Skywalker on the Lost Boys.
I can see Julie Andrews just kicking some serious ass now. So, well, Travis, this is your baby with about 100 other parents. Did you grow up like versed in the Cthulhu, or what brought you into doing this crossover for obviously the first one? Obviously, the first one did well, so you're going to find some other story time lands. But it was Oz first, correct?
Correct. Yeah. It was Oz.
So, which of the two were you more versed in when you started?
Probably about equal, I would say. I mean, because Oz, you've watched the movie. I think I read the book. I guess I didn't know about all the extended universe, but I had watched every movie I could have, from The Wiz to Return to Oz to all that. So I'd watched all the movies, but I hadn't read all the books. A lot of people don't know this, but like Oz, it's the first serialized book, like a comic book. Like it had volume after volume after volume. He kept doing kids' book like forever and ever and ever. It was the first of its kind to do that. We had like people, I'm going to write a trilogy or something, but like it was an ongoing narrative. Like if he was still alive, he'd be still writing them. He was writing them every year. He would write one or two and keep going. And then his son did it. That was a wild thing. And then you may not know this, Keith, Kevin, Keith. The hell that come from?
I've already called Phil Pete, and I'm going to call Pete Phil very soon, so it's fine.
So I know that you and Will have always seen me as an alpha male.
Yeah. Honestly, your masculinity has always challenged my own manhood. I do what I can to mask it.
And so this is going to shock you that I have partaked in a role-playing game or two in my day. And a lot of them had a certain call to this god called Cthulhu. And I spent a lot of time there as a wee lad.
Uh-huh.
I know this is shocking. This is new news to you. And I apologize if this affects you going forward, that I have rolled the bones of dice many a time.
So this is just a new way of taking universes and smashing them together, but you're super comfortable with the old gods.
Right. Well, you were part of my first original ask for Cthulhu Invades Oz, because, and here I'll be 100% honest, and I've been 100% honest. I asked everyone who I knew who would talk to me who was more talented than me. That's what I was just like, who do I know who's more talented than me, who has better credit than me? Will you play with me? And I didn't realize that most of them were like, nobody ever asked me to play. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's not a thing. Because I love creating books. I love putting things together. I have going back to the role-playing thing and more serious tone, I have a knack for this stuff. I used to run role-playing games for a game called Werewolf the Apocalypse. And I ran over 100 players in some of those games. I ran it for years, for about 20 years. So the whole purpose of those games is I have a story I want to tell, but everybody else has their own personal stories, and I've got to mix them up. So doing an anthology, for me, the way we do a Cthulhu Invades Oz or Wonderland or Neverland works, right? So I go, all right, here's my layout of my story. You need to write within these few confines. And they're very vague. And then I can make it work. And then I really cheated by adding, we have poems. And in the poems say, day 47. The next one would be day 142, a day 300 and something. So all those gaps, one of the great things about the mind and what we've learned from comics is it doesn't have to be the next day or the next second when you pick up that comic again. We fill in that gap. So if we tell you there's a gap or there's an issue, you're good. Your brain will fill it up. So comics is such a great medium to do that. So it allows, why is the outfit different? Why did they look different? Well, it's 132 days. Did you not change your clothes in 132 days? It's been a bit. Trying to get that out. But yeah, we're at the end of the trilogy. We've done the stuff. There was a beginning, middle, and end, and this is kind of the end of our trilogy. we're going to kind of do an epilogue after, but this is the last invasion spot of Cthulhu.
Okay.
So we're going to see what happens.
Is the epilogue Cthulhu chills the fuck out?
Finally. No.
Well, one thing you will love about it, Kevin, because I know you have an affinity for dogs.
Yeah.
Cthulhu has acquired dogs in every book. He acquired Toto. He loves Toto. He acquired Nana in this book. So he did not get along with the cat. The Cheshire cat. He did not get along with him because he's not a cat person. He's a dog person. And we've had that consistently. So I think really that's what's going to happen is the dogs are going to be like, we've been running the whole time. And then it'll be dog books. It's going to be Dogs Invade.
Nice. I may actually be able to help you out on the Dogs Invade blank.
Right.
I'm really not versed in Cthulhu very well. So like when you hit me up with it, I was like, I don't think I'm going to do a very good job. Good luck. But I don't know it, and I don't have time to read all of Lovecraft's thing in time to get you something good. So I did appreciate and was honored to be asked, but I didn't want to send you something subpar and get the email. Like, I don't think you understand.
It's been 4 years. He still hasn't found the time to read any of the books. So.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think you're not going to, Kevin. I'm going to be honest.
I will admit, Cthulhu might not be my favorite. I have been happy to support you, and I've been happy to support Russell Nuhelty and a couple other things. This is my last Cthulhu thing I will ever support. I am done. It is not for me, but that does not mean it's not great and good for other people. But I just, it doesn't captivate me personally, but I like to see other creators doing something that captivates them. And that's why I'm excited for you and for the Lovecraft audience.
Well, speaking of the Lovecraft audience, I've got to embarrass Travis here on camera because, dude, it was nominated for a Ringo. You're on the ballot.
Yeah.
You could potentially be a Ringo award-winning creator for this anthology. How freaking cool is that?
I mean,
he's either frozen or really thinking about it. And I can't tell which.
Am I moving? Am I good?
Yes, you're moving.
Okay.
Now.
I don't know what's going on my internet here. Like, who's on the internet at 10:30 at night that's cogging up my thing? I have no idea. But whatever.
10:30 is prime like porn time, so that's probably when the most bandwidth.
Did he freeze again?
Yeah, he did.
If I go to anybody's house right now, that's all.
If he had frozen on that look, that would have been priceless. That would have been like he looked like Jack from The Shining.
You know what? I asked you earlier if you could share the page. Let's try it. I'm going to bring it up. You can control it, and we'll see how it goes. If we have to, I'll pop you out, and you pop right back in. Okay. There we are.
You lost.
Yeah. But to answer your question, because I kept freezing, Cthulhu, it's so amazing to be nominated for a Ringo, like, because in my mind, it's only for Marvel, DC, Image, the mainstream. Mm-hmm. The fact that a Kickstarter book is in the running, even if we don't win, is just so friggin' amazing. And it really shows the power of Kickstarter that I don't think I have ever appreciated. And as someone who's a 21 Kickstarter sub, I don't think I ever appreciate it because I'm like, oh, I'm a creator, but there's that star, right? I'm a Kickstarter creator. But when Ringo's like, no, you're on the ballot, dude. Like, come on to Baltimore. Like, we're going to get free food. Like, all right. So
nice.
It actually made me feel more like a creator than the Scout contract. Don't tell Scout.
Well, you know, the Scout contract came first, so you got to have that moment.
Right.
And now you got this other moment. So it's nice to have multiple moments that make you feel good, because you know what? Like I just watched Zombieland with my daughter today, and like one of the joke things is be sure to enjoy the little thing. Enjoy these victories. You know, like they don't always come. It could be 6 months between victories in this world. It could be a week. Enjoy the hell out of it, man. And you can enjoy this one until the day you're no longer writing comics. I think you're going to write comics until the day you're on the ground. So you enjoy it while you're on God's earth. You can enjoy this.
And I get 70 other people who have now added to their Twitter handle, Ringo nominated creator, and
Absolutely.
they're not wrong.
No,
that's right.
But they are writers. I get to add creator, so like that's a different.
As I've been saying, you know, I've been trying to make everybody at work address me as such.
I hope you work at a comic shop, because if not, I don't,
which is what makes it even funnier.
Yeah.
Why does the Beatles drummer care about you?
Right.
Ronan the Accuser says it's a huge achievement, and it really is, and it's I'm really happy for you and proud. But
congrats, man.
Let's go through this page and kind of, if you could introduce the teams and the segments as you go through, cool tiers, and if someone's first hearing about this, I'm assuming you can catch up with the other two invades.
Absolutely. Yeah. We have box. We'll go through all that. So the first thing to notice on the campaign is that number is not at the end number where it needs to be. So that's a big thing you got to take from that. It's not even halfway there. I know it's day 2, so I'm getting a little greedy to ask for being halfway there, but I was there last time and it made me feel good. So let's help us catch up. So, because we know people want this. There was 806 backers in the last one. So I know there's people out there. We're giving digitals away for everything. As you see, I haven't updated the graphic, but I'll do that right after this program. Give you 2 awesome books. Look at that. That Ringo Award thing is right there. That's
nice.
As you see, it's part of a trilogy. This is the final part. Look at all these people who've we worked for. Also, since we have Cullen Bunn, look at all the places that Cullen Bunn has worked.
Right. So yeah, but you know what? You could. I bet you've got some letterers on there that could pop a lot of those as well.
Oh no, we have a lot of them legit, but it is funny that I can legitimately say, look at all the places Cullen Bunn worked, and he probably did. He maybe didn't work for Red 5. He maybe didn't work for or Antarctic Press, but I swear everything else he's done.
I've got some great news. I'm going to pop Stoney in. I just saw him in the background. Nice. Stoney, welcome. We're just going through the Kickstarter page right now. How are you, bud? You're quiet. Think you might come in muted. I'm not sure.
We hear a little hiss.
Yeah. No, I have really good news. There is a you got to do Cthulhu Invades Poltergeist, because this show has been a wreck from beginning to end. So this is perfect. Sony, I'm gonna ask you I'm gonna try to put you back in and see if you could get your mic working, and we'll get
Travis,
you back in it. Woo!
I just realized, Travis, you forgot to include Comic Tribe, the godfather of Kickstarter.
Oh, I would have put Comic Tribe on there. No, I would have. I'll do that. I didn't know that you were part of that. I just found out.
No, not me. Rich. Doesn't Rich have a book?
Oh, Rich Dueck. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But Rich gets you a lot of those big names as well.
Yeah.
he popped a DC and a IDW. I guarantee you. I'm not sure on the.
And
other.
I have Carl Moline, so like anybody who didn't get, like, we're good. Like between the three of them, we're fine. Look, we have 3 covers. The one to the right is the regular. The one in the middle is a cool variant by Angelo Utley, and then we have a cool hardcover. The hardcover is actually hand painted, not per person, but but it's painted on a copy of Neverland, so it's all on that, which is really cool. So if you ever get to see one up close, it's very, very cool. Look at all these names: Cullen Bunn, Carmeline, Rich Dueck, Pat Shan, Rich Woodall, Rich Fairgraves, Mary Zoletta, Bella. She does My Little Pony. Russell Nolte, Stan Yak. All these really cool people. So Dave Byrne and everyone here on the show is here too.
I'm going to try to pull in one of those cool people. We're going to try this again, Sony.
We can't hear you.
You fixed the mic popping, but there's no audio coming
No
through.
mic talking, though.
Yeah. But we're going to leave you on when and you just keep talking. Maybe we won't keep you on. Boy, I picked the wrong month to stop drinking. Jesus Christ. I got to see if there's some vodka over here or something.
I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue.
Exactly.
I almost always put this out as a podcast, but I'm not sure. We may need the visuals. On this.
I think it's best to just have long pauses and people try to figure out what the fuck's going on. I think it's way better.
Just have like an accompanying PDF with screenshots from the show.
Yeah.
But here's the cover, big of the cover A, cover B, cover C. Look at them, they're all nice. You can kind of see those words that I was talking about. And as you requested, Oz and Wonderland's here. Look, Wonderland's all right there. Oz is right there, except for that one we sold out. Thanks, Obama. Got some cool pictures, because you like to see what's in the book, right? People like that. All the nice stuff, 200 plus pages, UV spot, glossy art stuff.
What kind of draws you to the mythos? I mean, is it's pretty vast, right? I mean, you look at what he did, look at what Lovecraft did over his life, and then the other authors that have built onto it, over the decades. But what is it that kind of draws you in? And I'm actually all of you. I'm curious.
I'll let them answer first, and then I'll answer and keep going.
I mean, for me, the original really paying any attention to the Cthulhu mythos at all with me was the inclusion of it in the video game Quake. As weird as that sounds, but Quake was really my big introduction to it. I sort of avoided the horror section at the library growing up for a long time, kind of more in favor of sci-fi and fantasy in general. So I always tended to gravitate towards the other side of it. I think it shows a bit in some of my, the stories that I've written. The Lovecraftian characters tend to be sort of almost background compared to the characters from the original story.
Okay, cool.
You got an answer, Phil?
Yeah, kind of like growing up, I was not a horror guy at all. I became a horror guy after I found out that I was going to have my son. So I decided, you know what? If I'm going to embrace fear, I might as well do horror. And every story since then has been about horror and failing as a parent. And that was actually my first story in Cthulhu Invades Neverland. Now, for this story, my son's 5 years old now. So and he acts like a teenager. So that really inspired this Peter Pan story.
And you put him in a heel turn. So we know how he was acting that week.
Yeah.
For me, one of the beautiful things about, by the way, you can change that to Cthulhu Invades when you get back, Kevin. It doesn't have to be the long thing so people can know what it is. CthulhuInvades.com. For me, Cthulhu, the greatest thing about Cthulhu is you don't have to always take him seriously. Like, he can be funny, he can be evil, he can be all that. So he makes him such a great villain, especially when you pair him to like these public domain characters, because they're kind of silly, right? That's what draws me to him and what makes it work. You can really tell any story you want with Cthulhu, as long as the end result is madness, you're going to be fine.
Gotcha. And that's
cool.
I
think it was said during some of the last campaigns too. One of the things that makes it so much easier to deal with them and that mythos in general is that Lovecraft really didn't describe them well. It was always just like, oh yes, this is a horror beyond description.
Right.
And that was about it. So you've got plenty of leeway. You get a good chance to use your own imagination kind of as you go along.
So yeah, you can read 24 pages right here, which is cool. And then we've got I show you who we're going to do. We have a Peter Pan story. As you see, he's a little bloody. He's been going through some stuff. Wendy's still taking care of her siblings, which is great. This is a Toodles story. So if you like Toodles does a great little story. We got Michael Darling. We've got the twins. We've got John Darling, part 1 and part 2. We've got the Neverland birds, which you probably never heard of, but they're in the book. And what they do is they save Peter Pan at some point, and then Peter Pan beats them up because he doesn't remember them, because that's a thing that happens in the books a lot. He forgets things. So he then beats them up and gets mad, and then they get mad because he beats them up. It's quite an interesting scene. The genius that is my friend Sebastian. Before we even announced this, he was like, I want one claim. I was like, well, I had known I was going to try to ask Colin Vaughn. I was like, well, I'm going to ask some bigger people this time. You can't get any claim. He's like, I want Pan's shadow. I was like, I can probably do that. I don't think anybody's going to. We got Mr. and Mrs. Darling. By the way, Lane Lloyd, I'm seeing his art all over the place. I think he's going some places.
Well, and Then Emily Was Gone is a revelation, that book.
Right.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, his art is extraordinary and so very unique. That was John Lee's, right? And it was Comics Tribe. I think it was John Lee's writing it.
Yeah.
If you haven't read it, it's fabulous.
And then we've got Blake. So from Blake's Buzz, who I know is a freaking fan in here. I got Blake. Blake had never written a comic before. He desperately wanted to, so I gave him 2 pages. Solomon Caw, who you may not know, is actually the first story of Peter Pan. So it's a crow that tells Peter where he come from. It's actually in a book that came up before Peter and Wendy. And it basically kind of tells the origin of Peter Pan. We got Nana, we got the dog, we got TikTok. We got some Lost Boys here. So this is the first one of our guys here. So go ahead, Phil. What's your story about?
It's pretty much Peter being angry at the world and taking out on the Lost Boys. And he makes a deal with Cthulhu about the plan to pretty much eradicate all the adults on Neverland.
Nice.
So one of the things I want to know about this, if you're listening to this, Peter Pan in the book is very, very childlike. So your child, if you have a child, Phil has one about my age, but if you ever have a child around 5 years old or 4 years old, 1 minute they'll come at you with guns because you're the bad guy. And then sometimes they want to be the bad guy and it goes back and forth. Pan in the book does a lot of that. So there's times when he'll join up with Hook and fight the Lost Boys. There's times where he gives them imaginary food and then they complain they're still hungry. And he's like, I gave you food, because for him, it's very, very real. And then he's very forgetful because he's very childlike. So there's a lot of evil things that Pan does. In fact, one of the lines he says, sometimes I give them fairy dust. And then sometimes I give it to them at the last minute, right before they're about to fall. But sometimes I miss, and that's okay too. And then he moves on like it's not a thing. So Pan is a very, very different. It really leads to that theory that I don't know if you've ever heard the theory that Hook is literally just trying to save these children, and Pan is out of control. Because he literally comes to England and steals children. Like, it's not a good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy, Captain Hook, huh?
Right. Good. We got Tinkerbell. We got Tiger Lily. We've got the other fairies in Neverland. We've got the mermaids. Stoney is not here. He did not make it. But
he tried. He tried. He gets an A for effort. Not an A for audio, but an A for effort.
We added a Lost Girl in here because there hasn't been a Lost Girl. We thought that would be cool. We have the woodland creatures of Neverland because in the Neverland books, there's like the way the world works is like circus. So the Indians are hunted by the pirate. The animals are hunted by the Indians are hunted by the pirates. Hook hunts the pirates, and it goes like this sickler thing. So the animals are really, really interesting. And the Indians can't be used because our dude was a little racist towards Indians, and can't use them.
As I stated, it's not the late 1800s, early 1900s anymore. So.
Thankfully, the only racism is on the Peter Pan side. There was none from Lovecraft. So thankfully,
right.
All right, yeah,
super clean on the racism on the other side.
Right. Lovecraft's known for his
cultural sensitivity
and diversity. Yes, indeed.
He was all about world peace. Yes.
It was a different time. No, I am not defending Lovecraft. If anybody puts that on me,
yeah, me neither.
You can love the mythos and see that some of his ideas should have died out, and his speculative ideas are living on. So that's good.
Well, and most of his racist stuff is actually not in the books. It's him. It's reports of him,
letters, and
the books aren't actually that racist. It's him. Unlike the Pan thing, he was very racist against Indians. He was not a fan.
Okay.
All right, and then we got the pirates. We got Mr. Smee. We got John Crowther doing that, and we've got I Do Hook. So whenever we do these, we have the books in continuity. So at the end of Peter Pan, that little wonderful crocodile, TikTok 8, Captain Hook. So I had to resurrect him. So this is a resurrection story of how we resurrect Captain Hook from that evil situation. We got the Jolly Roger gets its own story. We've got Cookson, who is the cook, who is a very bad cook for the pirates. We've got Billy Jukes. Go ahead, Peter.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the basics of it is, the very beginning of the story, Billy Jukes walks up to Peter and Parlay to talk about the fact that his new boss is maybe eating people. And of course, Peter is naturally shocked because midway through Peter and Wendy, he killed him in the back of the Jolly Roger. So then he goes on to sort of describe, how he's getting these new tattoos and the like. And as we can see, they meet someone.
And then Gentleman Starkey, for some reason, and we only accepted 2. I had 6 submissions for this character pirate who I had barely heard of. I only knew of because of the research I did. But he gets 2 stories. He gets more stories than Pan.
He gets 2 stories, and you had to turn away 4. Wow.
Right. It's ridiculous. But all right, General Starkey. So if you're a General Starkey fan, because apparently there is.
I think a lot of it is people went through the story looking at names and went, who can I not remember from the Disney movies at all?
Right.
And tried to go that route because they thought they wouldn't be fighting. Because I remember it was the same thing with Wonderland and the cards. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do a card story because nobody's going to want the cards. And then we had so many people wanting of them, we actually split them up from suit to suit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that we could actually get all the stories in. Like, it's just, I think this is probably somewhat similar.
Yeah, it's just random things. I think it's because everyone's like, well, what's his name's going to take this, or what his name's going to take that. So they don't go for the bigger parts. Like last time, nobody friggin' took Alice. And I was like, no, not Alice. I'm sorry. The Mad Hatter. Nobody sent a submission for the Mad Hatter. I was like, everyone loves him. Like, he's great.
I just kind of figured Matt and Steph were going to go for him.
Oh, well, let me revise. Matt and Steph did go through him, but they were trying to make it into their continuity and like tie it into their whole book. And I was like, no, that's your book. This is my book. And they understood, and we gave him a new character. And then what's really cool about this edition that we haven't done in the past is we have some of the minions of Cthulhu. So what's cool about Neverland versus our other stories is to get to Oz, you need to fly over the Yellow Brick Road, have shoes, you got to do all that to get to Oz. Wonderland, you got to go through a portal. Neverland is just there. You just go third star to the right. It's not that hard to get
straight ahead till morning. I got that.
Right. So because of that, we did some human stories. So we used a lot of the Cthulhu mythos where we don't normally do that. We normally focus on the public domain I'm destroying. And this time we used some of that. So we got the Dagon, we got Herbert West, which is the character from the Reanimator. We got Detective Thomas Malone, who is I can't
Alan
remember.
Moore. Yeah.
He is Alan Moore, right? And then
although admittedly the detective's the guy underneath of him. That's random homeless Alan Moore.
This random homeless wizard.
Right. The Yellow King, who we have used in all the books, and Cthulhu. So that's really cool. And to wrap it all up, we have poetry. So we have beautiful poetry that goes through by my friend David Greshel. He writes all the poetry throughout the book, which is really cool.
Let me ask on that. Do you just ask him to give you like 6 poems, or do you say, okay, the first 3 things I picked are this, this, and this. I'd like this poem to evoke this, and I'd like a poem that evokes this. How do you go about the poetry?
Actually, he reads the story. And I tell him that the main characters have to have them, so for in this case, it would be, probably the crocodile, Mr. Smead, Hook, Pan, Wendy, and, maybe a couple of the kids. So I tell him that, and then he just kind of writes it based on the story and the feel. And it really adds a whole effect to it because you get these stories that normally end in tragedy, like most anthologies, right? Most horror anthologies, the end of it, someone dies or there's a plot of some sort. That's just kind of the way they work. This gives a really good palate cleanser and like kind of gets you in a different mindset before you go to the next one, which I think is really, really good and helps us stand apart.
Mm-hmm.
And we only let him write the poetry, which is also really cool. Like we don't have like, oh, we're going to take poet submissions now too. So It's all one kind of flowing style and rhythm. So
cool.
And then here's all our stretch, $12 for digital, $30 for all 3, just basic stuff, $29. All of our pricing is very typical what you'd get. And a Kickstarter, you can get all 3 covers, you can get alternate covers of the trilogy. We got some premium awards with hardcovers and stuff like that. And then we got box sets and metal bookmarks, which is really cool. So we do a lot of really cool stuff like that. And then we have a whole add-on menu just for Neverland, which has some of our books, and we have T-shirts. So we go kind of all out. But this is what we've done for this one because it's the end of the trilogy. We've always done green bookmarks, but this one we have a set of red bookmarks, which is kind of cool. So we did a new thing for Oz, Wonderland, and Neverland. So if you've been with us the whole time, it's a really good good change of pace and kind of a cool thing. We kind of gave the villains a forefront here. So, and then all the Orange Cone stuff. If you haven't backed enough of it, I give you some more opportunities to do so.
All right. Well, if you can pop out of there, if I pop out, I'm going to kick you out. And I see Stoney is back. We're going to try to pop him through.
Let's do it now.
How are you doing,
now?
Oh, guys, that is the end of the show, but it is a success. We got Stoney up. We're going to extend it just a little bit longer. Stoney, thank you for working very hard.
Well, yeah, so I figured out my son took the mic off of my headphones, and it works better with a mic. Yeah. I was so flustered, it took me all of that time to figure out the mic wasn't even on the headphones.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Wait, your mic detaches?
Yeah, comes off. I'm not.
If you pull hard enough, every mic detaches.
Very true. Very true.
Well, first of all, I'm impressed because I would never figure that out. And also just thank you for doing the work. So we allowed Phil and Pete to give us a quick little primer on their section. So I know Travis just went through all of them, but I'd like you to have your moment as well. Which character did you pick, and how did you come about doing the piece that you have in this anthology?
So I chose the mermaids. My story is a conflict between the mermaids and the pirates, and gets to show some of how Cthulhu affects the realm of Neverland, even indirectly. I did a ton of research on mermaids and especially Neverland mermaids. Ben and I went back and forth on designs and stuff, and he was incredible. I've really never worked with an artist that I clicked with that much, and so I was able to send him references, and he just kind of put it all together and to make this just exactly what was in my head. So yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't the mermaids in the Pan universe on the vicious side?
So depending on the book, yeah.
Okay. So it's are you exploring that, or what kind of what's kind of the emotional theme of yours?
A mixture of both.
Okay.
So yeah, they start off a little more friendly, and then as the conflict evolves, they stop being so friendly.
Okay. I think that's fair. I think that makes sense.
If you want, we can scan through his story real quick since he did all this work. I have it loaded up.
Sure. That's what's in the thing. Sure. Yeah. Let's do it.
We'll give you a full sneak peek of one story here. Look at it. Got the stuff. And if you pause this, guys, you can read it, which is nice.
Just some in the moment proofing here. Let's see.
Yeah. So if you want to read it, no, my wife did this one, so you're good. It's been proofed. See some bad things happen. Pirates are like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "They aren't sexy."
Hey, don't you kink shame me.
Everybody has a different definition of sexy, right?
I haven't said that I wasn't into the pointy teeth and blood coming out of the mouth.
Yeah.
And look, they're fine down there. They're just chilling. They're just like, we were hungry and things happen.
Yeah, just need a quick Snickers and they're good.
It just turns out that one of the pirates is named Snickers. That's
right.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of the Futurama joke when Fry fell in love with the mermaid, and then he realized that why can't the top part be be human and the bottom part be no, the top part be a fish and the bottom be a human. Oh man. So I want to wish you all luck. Yes, I was gonna not say what Travis made me say about my personal thoughts of Lovecraft, but we're not about lying on the show either. We just try to stay positive. So if you are into either Lovecraft or Pan, this is the way to go. I support everything Travis does, but I am on record. This is it, except for Miskatonic High. I'm done. So your epilogue, I ain't supporting it. I'm done. I am done with Cthulhu. But I am so proud of you.
What about our Obulus? Because then you're just supporting the one you
do not give a shit. I am done with Cthulhu.
Will I officially am giving you a license to use Cthulhu Invades in your crossover? So Kevin has to do it. So
okay.
You can invade our Cthulhu Invades.
No, that's okay because I can't back my own project. So that's
okay.
Not one more cent. Not Kevin, 1 more cent.
Kevin, you know what's going to happen. How old are your kids?
14. She'll get so into Lovecraft.
Okay, so she's a teenager, right? So if she listens to this, she's just going to start mailing you pictures of Lovecraft and Cthulhu. Yeah. That's what teenagers do.
Hey, you know what? If she rebels against me by getting into a huge mythological universe, more power to her.
Well, yeah, it's one of those really funny things whenever we do cons and we have a table set up, because it's me and my daughter Emily, and I have this very sweet. She's 5'1". Today she went to go see the movie, so she was dressed like Barbie.
Nice.
And she'll be sitting behind that, but everything on our table is horror. Yeah. It's the funniest thing. People kept bringing her into Cthulhu anthologies.
That's awesome.
Hey, while we've got you guys on here, do you have any other books, that you'd like to talk about? I mean, or at least mention. Travis, I know I'm a backer of all your projects as well, and I very much enjoy Granite State Punk a lot.
And that's in previews right now, isn't it?
Yes. The next issue, the Breaking Edges in previews. Its release date is October 12th.
Nice. It's my wife's birthday. I'll have to grab her.
Yeah, to be like, hey, honey, we'll go get a comic book about New Hampshire. It'll be really romantic.
she's open-minded. She'll be like, all right, cool. I'll give it a try.
If you want me to go first, yeah. So we have 5 more projects for the rest of the year. We got Cthulhu. Obviously, we're doing that now. Got Granite State Punk 3, which is called The Coven. We've got Voodoo Nations 4, which is all done, ready to go. We've got a book that I just announced called Hospice, which is going to be wild. So I'll give you a quick synopsis. So Hospice is a book where I've teamed up with 5 other creators. I'm one of them. And we've all written a book in the same continuity. And we're all going to go to Kickstarter at the same time with the same name. It's a book called Hospice, and it's about demons. Basically, you go into these hospices. And you
got to stop you there.
Yeah.
6 separate Kickstarters named Hospice?
Correct. Okay. It's going to fuck the algorithms.
I'm glad you did not ask my advice before you did this.
Oh yeah. I am fully aware of the consequences of what this will happen.
This might be the dumbest thing anyone has ever done, and I am for watching it either spectacularly succeed or more likely. What are you doing, Travis?
I like the idea of them digging a big pit and throwing a knife in the middle of it. It's fantastic.
When you're searching for that month, you're gonna find one of the 6 projects. And on each one, we'll link you to the other 5 projects. It's going to be very exciting. And we've got the names. We've got Russell Nolte's part of it. We've got David Byrne part of it. We've got Laurie Foster part of it. We've got.
How are all these smart people doing the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard?
Wait, I have a question. How did this process start? Like,
there was so much LSD when this process started.
It's going to be great.
Do cocaine, not LSD, when making business decisions.
It's going to be so exciting. It's going to be so exciting. We literally did it to break Kickstarter. We literally did it for all the reasons that Kevin's stressed out right now. We did it for all of them.
They did it on an ayahuasca retreat. They are shitting in their pants going, we're going to do the same Kickstarter.
But it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. That starts in September. September 5th is the first one. And it's going to be wild.
I hope you're the first one.
I am.
Good. Okay.
That's you're gonna break the internet, like the comic internet.
Travis is gonna have 1,800 backers the first 48 hours. And then he's gonna watch like 700 people all cancel when they realize that's the wrong hospice. And Travis is gonna be like, what the fuck did I do?
I'm excited.
And Russell's going to see you get 1,800, and he's going to be so pissed when he only gets 200. This is the train wreck that you guys have just created for yourselves. You are making Elon Musk look really smart right now.
Here's the greatest thing, Kevin. If it works like I think it's going to work, I'm going to franchise this next year for absolutely free for people and allow other people to do this, and I'm going to mentor them.
Yeah. Oh, wait. So your book comes out, and then when does when does Frank's book come out? Does it come out like
Russell and I comes out on the 5th? The next Tuesday, another 2 hospice books. The next following Tuesday, another 2 hospice books come out.
Quick question: the exact so it's like issue 1 and 2, or it's just like. Nope. Book, really?
They will have subtitles. They will have Migrants Hospice Texas. They will.
You know what?
You can differentiate them, but they will all be in the same universe.
You're breaking Kevin. So Kevin, I get where he's coming from, but it's bold.
It's bold.
It's
bold.
When was the last time comics? We were at a water cooler, right, and just talking about. Like saga number 1, maybe. Like, when was the last time people were talking about the same thing?
Right, exactly. So we're going to be talking. A lot of people will be talking about the same book, and it's very exciting.
It's chicken wing sauce on your special case cereal bowl.
Kevin, you
can do it. You can do it, but I wouldn't start my day that way.
Kevin, this isn't even my worst idea today.
Kevin, you have a chance to do tart and then the subtitle hospice.
Actually, per our thing, we want hospice then tart, but yes.
Hey, I really dig people taking big swings.
It's going to be exciting. We've been planning it for a year. You'll see.
I can't wait to see what Tyler says. Have you talked to Tyler about this?
Tyler who?
Yeah,
there's
James.
like 19 Tylers.
Tyler James, the Comic Tribe mastermind, the Godfather.
This may shock you, Phil, but I don't need to go through Tyler for approval.
No. What I'm saying is him being like, just knowing Kickstarter. I just can't wait to see his reaction to this.
But I mean, Russell's like, nobody looks at Tyler James, Pat Shand, Russell No Health. Nobody looks at Kickstarter more than those three people, and one of them is involved in this chicanery.
I love that word. Good word.
The goal is to break
your own bank. Got it.
I didn't want to take up a whole bunch of time, but apparently that's where we're at now. The goal of the project is one of a few things. It's one, to show that Kickstarter is a publisher, and here's how we can do that. We can have something in a shared universe. We can have everybody do their own books without mixing money, which is the only way you could do that, right? I could put it all into one campaign. It could be 6 issues. But if we all individually did it, we don't have to mix money, which is really, really cool. Everybody get their own money, have the same branding, which is very cool. Second, someone's going to be complaining, why the fuck is there two hospices on there? That's what we want. We want someone to take notice of why it is. Show that it's all connected, have a connecting cover so you could all pay for all the connected cover and get it all together. So someone share audience and help build it and get some buzz on what's going on in Kickstarter. Is it going to be good buzz or bad buzz? Kevin thinks bad. I think good.
No. I think it's I quite honestly step back, and if I had been part of the planning process, I would have been very much in favor of the 6 hospice comics kickstarting in January, February, March, April, May, and June.
That was my pick.
I think that would really build the snowball and be kind of neat, weird, cool synergy. You're not sharing the money, but the 1 week, I am going to see how it goes.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
So, Travis, how long are the campaigns going to be?
Most of them are on the same day. We don't really dictate how long they need to be, but I think we're all trying to go for 18 days. So the 2 week period, and we're going to keep it affordable too. We're trying to do it as cheap as possible. So your campaign, if we know that we're trying to ask you to really back 6 campaigns, not one.
Yeah,
so
the super hope is for everyone to get 4 of the 6, if not all 6.
Right.
It could definitely work.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting.
I just think it could also be super confusing. People who know Travis Gibb want to come and support Travis Gibb, and they go on hospice, and it says Russell No Healthy, and then they go, "Oh, I guess I was wrong," and then they shut it down. So I would be talking about this on podcast for the next 6 months, because it is it could be a real success, and it could be a cataclysmic disaster.
Again, not the worst idea I've had all day. But no, I really wanted to show what Kickstarter can do. So that
or cannot do. We're going to find out. Yeah.
Both.
No, I mean it's cool. I'm here for experiments, quite honestly. But I wouldn't be. I'm glad I wasn't part of this conversation, because I would have basically went, have fun.
If it makes you feel better, my pitch was your pitch. Exactly what you said. Hey, we should spread this up over a year. We'll do it. We'll have a trade at the end of the year. It'll be all great. But they really wanted to put it all together, because the negative of that is the person at the end, once they get the gimmick, would probably get all the money. So that makes it frustrating. So
then you got your second issue coming in July. Whoever went first has their second issue in July, and just keep going.
If we were going to do that, but they're all one shots. They're all one shots in the same year.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
So I
Travis,
can't wait to see this.
And holiday spirits. Yep.
Yeah. Is there any worry at all that I keep making a joke, and especially indie comics with Kickstarters, we're all just sharing the same $20 back and forth. Are you worried that there's not going to be enough money for all of them all at the same time?
No, I don't. Kickstarter doesn't really work that way, and I mean it may be that way, but I buy several X-Men titles when I go to the stuff. They're all X-Men, but this one's X-Men Red, this one's X-Men Blue, this is the Immortal X-Men.
Have you guys talked about? Is there a possibility of everybody having a tier where you're only paying shipping once as a backer? Because I would kind of feel weird about paying $60 in shipping for quote unquote a shared universe.
Right. Yeah, that's something we talked about. We have talked about it all being at the same printer, so we could all be fulfilled at the same time because we made sure the books were done. Those are the things we're talking about, but it's hard to do. Because Kickstarter doesn't have those algorithms to do so. But
right,
we're figuring it out. Regardless, it's going to
or you won't. You're just going to jump out of the plane, and start making your parachute.
I mean, as long as we keep our goal low enough, we're all going to make it.
I love Russell, but he ain't about just making his goal.
But no, it's going to be wild. It's going to be fun, and it's definitely going to break Kickstarter, and I'm excited for that.
It's broke me already.
Yeah.
It's already working.
Bold.
You are a mad scientist, but perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we're doing Holiday Spirits too.
No, we're done. No, you're done. Done. No, Travis, you are muted. You're done. Everybody else stops. Phil, what else?
Yeah,
do you have in the pipeline?
Stony Pete, Phil, what do you guys got in the pipeline right now?
So I have always been in anthologies. I am, for the first time ever, working on my first mini. It's called Final Boy College Laundry. It's about a amateur slasher monster and his assistant.
That's what I thought you said, pleasure monster, and I was like, I don't know this genre, but I think I want to.
I'm actually gonna write that. I'm gonna write that down. Because porn sells, right? So let me just. I'm gonna use that. But it's a buddy horror.
Oh, cool.
A horror story.
Cool. Awesome. Pete, what do you got coming down the pipeline?
The biggest thing I have right now, obviously, is Neverland. But aside from that, you can go to your local comic book shop now and request a copy of Quicksand, which I edited. Issue number 2 is coming out August 23rd, I believe.
Nice. All right.
And then
I
5 issues on that one.
I've read the first 2 from Kickstarter. It's a very good title.
Yeah, it's really good. There's going to be 5 issues in total. So we got 3 of them out on Kickstarter originally before he inked the deal with Scout, and we kind of restarted.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be August 23rd, and then it should be once a month, I believe, until we run out.
Great. Stoney, what do you got coming?
I don't have anything to announce right now. I'm working on a couple of different things, but if you follow me at
called Hospice.
That's right, yeah, all of it.
Stoney's going to be the first one who gets a hospice book after this is done. Yeah, fear me not, I feel it.
I want it on the hospice stuff. I also want to pitch a Cthulhu Invades OnlyFans to Travis here. I feel like there's a lot of money there.
Look,
hey, I'll do research on the OF part. I'm not going to write nothing, but I'll do a lot of research.
I launched Cthulhu, which made a whole bunch of backers last time, and Pat Chan runs Private Dancers. He's at like 22,000 with 700 backers.
Hey, listen, we don't compare ourselves to Pat Chan, Charlie Stickney, Brian Pulido. We compare ourselves to ourselves. You're starting off great. You got 23 days.
We actually just got a whole bunch of backers, and I believe it's obviously the show, or they heard about hospice.
They heard about hospice.
I was holding money for Travis's other projects. I don't need to do that now.
No, this is certainly the Explain Yourself bump. Will and I take credit for everything. As of 10 p.m. tonight, we take credit for every backer, every dollar. We never ask for a percentage, but we take credit. That is our deal with every person who comes on the show. We were too busy before we started to give the ground rules, but that is what you accept when you come on here, is Will and I making ourselves feel important.
Exactly.
Supporting racist. All right, good, because HP is Lovecraft is such a
All right, well, gentlemen, it was a train wreck, technically, but I had a blast doing it when I could hear people, when people weren't frozen, when mics were put back on, headsets. But Stoney, I'm still impressed you did that. I would have just gave up and probably gone to bed crying.
I was so close, and then I realized there wasn't a mic on here, and I felt dumb. I was like, no, I can fix this. I have to.
My mind would have never seen that the mic wasn't there. That's not how my mind works. So I'm proud of you. God, Will, Jesus Christ. If we're doing the show, do we have hospice on, or do we just stay away from that train wreck? What do we do?
Well, they're individual.
We've got to have them on.
They're not an anthology, so.
No. All 6 of you are none.
6 different episodes.
You just do Monday through Saturday, one person a day.
Okay, Will, let's be Peter Pan about it. We'll do 6 separate episodes and pretend we don't realize they all have the same name.
That would be amazing. I approve.
No, I like your 6 at once plan. So, Russell Nolte's, your book is called Hospice, right?
Could you give me a 30-second pitch on hospice? Travis, could you give me a 30-second pitch on hospice?
Your book is named Hospice. Maybe would we get anybody in the comments saying, are these books all named the same? What?
Will, tell me the truth. You think this is a great idea and you want in next year with my mentorship? Tell me. Sign up now.
I am here for the chaos, man. This is gonna be crazy. This is awesome.
I want an email from Kickstarter. I want them all to. Travis did it.
It's done broke.
Yeah, it's bold. That's
just
actually, you know what?
Email from Kickstarter. The subject says, "How dare you?"
No, I mean, go for it. Go to it. Sorry.
You know what it is? It's a pretty punk move, is what it is. That's punk.
It is.
But is it punk rock or just that punk?
Punked.
And we're gonna find out. That's
It's a thing. I'm excited about it.
Can I ask a question? And I mean, if you don't want to answer it, you do not have to. Are all of these books going to be fully completed, or are you going to just do a couple of pages samples before you guys all launch?
We have to be. You have to be done with the book by the end of the campaign. So I can't say they'll all be done, but they'll all be pretty close. Yeah. So you would just, and that's why we hired professionals. So the people who are in it is Jamie Premack. I don't know if you know her, but she does Binary Star. Very, very efficient creator. FXK's team over there, Michael Watson. So he's got a team. He's really good at making sure that everything's done. David Byrne, he's been known for all his stuff. Russell Nolte's, myself, and Laura Foster.
Everybody I know on that list cranks out books, delivers their Kickstarters. That's certainly something you've got.
Oh, Frank Martin. Frank Martin too.
Oh, sweet.
Oh yeah, Frank. Mm-hmm.
So Frank Martin might have 2 hospices out that month, knowing him.
Yeah.
Hospy.
Dude, that guy is insane. Like he has so many. He's so excited about it. Like all the rest of us are like, we got a whole bunch of stuff. Frank's like, nope. Like he's asking questions all the time, being part of. He created like a thing with papyrus font. I was like, fantastic, papyrus it is. It's going to be fun, Kevin. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. I'm going to dedicate my book to you. I've actually decided that's actually going to happen. Like in the first page, I dedicated to Kevin Jones.
People are going to think he's dead.
Here's what I'm going to say. Everyone that I know that is a part of this idea, in quotes, I like, and that's why I'm scared. But it doesn't mean it won't be a colossal success, and then I can go, great. I don't think I need to be proven wrong on this, because I can see where you have there's a really high ceiling for this, but there is a super low floor,
Right.
and I'm super worried that some of my friends will be down near that floor area.
Right.
But I do respect you guys taking a home run cut. That I do.
Yeah.
I do.
It's a big swing.
It's a big swing.
Big swing.
Yeah. But it's Kickstarter. The worst thing that can happen on Kickstarter is a 18-day free advertisement.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. I do think, I think it'll hurt itself a little bit. I think it'll take money from each other. I think we're aware of that. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to be okay.
Cool.
We've had all these talks for long hours. The good, the bad, and the ugly of it. I'm excited about it, though. I can't wait to what are you guys doing? Why?
It almost broke Kevin. I mean, you saw that, right?
It makes you ask questions. Now we just got to make the books be worth all right, let's check out these questions.
The former journalist in me has the who, what, why, where, who, what, when, where, and sometimes, and in this case, especially why. But I mean, it could be huge. So
either way, it's going to make it's going to have something to talk about on Kickstarter for that those few weeks, which is what we want to do. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. We're all big adults.
So if one of the hospices is Ringo nominated, can you all call yourselves Ringo nominated creators?
It will then be an anthology.
Especially if it's not Travis's story originally.
Well, we got the idea from Silver Coin. Are you familiar with Silver Coin? Silver Coin is a book from Image, and it's a guy named Mike Walsh. And what he does is he has his friends write a story about a silver coin. It's like an evil coin. When you get it, bad things happen. And he just has these great writers write it and be part of it. So it's really.
And then he just draws every issue.
Jerome,
and all 12 issues come out the same month of Silver Coin.
No, maybe it should be called broke down in 6 weeks.
Guys, we're not getting any better than that. Thank you, Jerome. It was a blast. I had a great time. It's still a school night, and we're going to close it down. But good luck on Cthulhu Invades Neverland. Good luck on Hospice.
I'm going to see you in a hospice.
Yes. Will, I will see you in about 48 hours. Sound good?
Sounds good, man.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Good night.